Guest right now, motivational speaker, author, commentator, Allyn Root, website's Root for America, Angry White Males, his book he's got out on the market right now. Wayne, how are you?
Hey, Mark, how are you? I was sitting listening to your last caller, and I think that's great. By the way, I'm the angry white male who has always predicted Trump would win by bringing out the most white males in the history of America, the most white voters, male and female, in the history of America, combined with the highest percentage of black votes of any Republican president in 50 years since John F. Kennedy ran against Richard Nixon. And so far, I think all of the polls I've seen suggest I am correct. His black vote total is right around what I said, 15-16%. That would be the most in 50 years. So
Wayne,
I'm telling you, Hillary can't win with Donald getting 16% of the black vote.
Well, I'm just telling you, in Ohio, there's an Axiom poll that came out, the one that showed Trump up 4%. Yes. And if you look at the internal numbers on that poll, it was weighted to Cleveland and Columbus, which are the dominant Democratic areas in Ohio. He had 36% Hispanic vote, and he had almost 20%. He had 19% black support in Ohio in that poll.
I'm very proud. My prediction was he would get 10, and my prediction, to be honest, was he would get 10 to 15% of the black vote, which would be historical, and with an outside shot at 20. And I don't think the outside shot is that much of a low shot. That was the words I used. But I would have been happy with 10, 15. I'd be ecstatic, and anything approaching 20, we win the election hands down. It's not even close. So look at all the polls. A week ago, I was telling you ignore the polls. It's Brexit. Today, I'm saying don't even ignore the polls. They're all moving closer to Trump. He's got all the momentum, and you know what turned it for us? I'll tell you what turned it. I just wish Donald would listen to me from day one. I send him advice all the time, and I always said this entire election was about Obamacare. There's 100 other issues. They're all important, but they all pale compared to Obamacare. It's bankrupting the entire middle class of America. And sure enough, 2 days ago, just when it looked darkest for Donald, not to me, I've been saying he's going to win for months, and I've said it, even when it showed he was down 12 in all the latest polls a week ago. It doesn't matter. 2 days ago, it was the headline in every paper in America. Obama administration announces 25% increase in premiums for the new year for Obamacare. That was the moment it all turned around. We're going to win every U.S. Senate race that was close. We're going to win the presidency. We're pulling it all out. Don't tell me that those long lines all over America are filled with people who can't wait to vote for Hillary while Obamacare goes up 25%.
And
those long lines are the same reason you have 25,000 people at Trump rallies and 300 at Hillary rallies and 30 at Tim Kaine's rally in Florida the other day. 30. Do you understand? I show up at events, Allyn Root, and I get hundreds of people. Tim Kaine at 30. I could fit 130 at a political fundraiser in my living room in Las Vegas. I often do. Tim Kaine had 30.
That included reporters
2 weeks ago, and she had 125. That's my living room.
Yeah.
This is a joke. There's no one lined up to vote for Hillary. She's got support 10 miles wide and a quarter of an inch deep, meaning they don't care about her, they don't like her, and they're not coming out for her on Election Day.
Yeah, Wayne, what angers me so much is how complicit the media is on selling the story that the election is over. CNN is the worst, but they go down to a Trump rally in Florida where there are 20,000 people, and they interview people in line outside to get into the rally, and they pick the guy that looks like the biggest Hoosier they can find, and they start asking him policy questions and trying to paint all Trump supporters as nuts and backwards, and it's just sickening. And they want people to believe, they want to try to suppress the voter turnout. I'm convinced of it.
Look, in the history of American big city newspapers, no one's ever given a guy like me a column, okay? And the Las Vegas Review-Journal got bought by Sheldon Adelson, who is one of the richest men in the world and one of the biggest Republican contributors in the history of this country. And Sheldon took a chance, and in September he hired me to be the main political columnist of the Las Vegas Review-Journal. You just never get a Tea Party conservative like me writing columns, a small businessman who believes in capitalism and understands it. He's not a journalist. I'm a small businessman who happens to have a column in a big city newspaper. And my column is every Sunday and Wednesday. So my last column Sunday said, this whole election will turn on three issues. Number one is Obamacare. And the next day came out this 25% increase.
Yeah.
And the next thing this election will turn on is Hillary's corruption. And the single biggest news that no one seems to know is that the FBI agent in charge of her investigation was bribed. His wife was given $500,000 by the Clintons' best friend, Terry McAuliffe, to run a political campaign for state senate in Virginia. And then he comes out, the husband, and says, "Oh, you're innocent. I find you innocent." If that isn't an FBI agent who's been bribed and needs to go to prison, I don't know who is. And I said the third thing is Donna Brazile. WikiLeaks has now given you the email that says everything Wayne Root ever said about the American economy for 8 years, that Obama has buried it, Obama has destroyed the middle class, Obama has destroyed middle-class jobs. There's nothing but jobs cleaning toilet bowls, low-wage jobs tending bar. It's a nightmare. People are in despair. And for 8 years, I've been told by Democrats, you're a racist, you're a liar, you're making things up. And what does Donna Brazile's secret email to the head of Hillary's campaign say? The nation's in despair. The economy's in disaster. The people are in despair like I've never seen in my life. And all those millions of jobs we say we've created, they're all low-wage jobs. This is what the head of the Democratic National Committee sent to Hillary's campaign manager, not for public use. It was a private email, and this proves everything I've ever said is correct. The liberals claim the economy's great, and Republicans claim it's horrible. She just admitted in private it's horrible. Does anyone understand? This is our election now. And sure enough, what comes out? Obamacare up 25% the day after my column. And what comes out today, what came out minutes ago at the UK Daily Mail? Not only did Terry McAuliffe give almost $500,000 to the lady who's married to the guy running the Hillary email investigation at the FBI, Hillary headlined a fundraiser for her. Do you believe this is America?
Wow.
Can you believe this is America, Mark? Hillary went and raised money for the PAC that gave $500,000 to the woman who's married to the FBI guy running her investigation, and then he came to the conclusion she's innocent.
Then he got promoted. I mean, he was the head of the local office when this started, and before it was all over, he was second in charge at the FBI.
Yeah, Jill McCabe is the woman's name, and her husband's name is... Where's the husband? Andrew McCabe. Right. Andrew McCabe, you need to go to prison. You knew this was happening. You're an FBI agent. You're dirty as a sewer, my friend, and you need to go to prison for 20 years. But I'll tell you what, in a best-case scenario, you need to be fired and lose your pension immediately. You and your wife need to go to prison. You're evil, dirty people. And this is what all of us have to say when we go in the voting booth and knock these people out for Donald Trump. I don't care about his locker room conversation. I have the headline of the year for you, Mark. Rich men like to have sex with pretty women. Oh, my God, did you know that? I didn't know that rich men like to have sex with pretty women. That's what Donald Trump was saying. If that's news to anyone listening, then I think all of you need to wake up and live in the real world. Because I've been around rich men my whole life, and they all want to have sex with pretty women. That has nothing to do with your ability to run a country, nothing to do with your ability to run an economy, nothing to do with your ability to save jobs. And by the way, not one woman is claiming she was raped by Donald Trump. So the whole thing's ridiculous. They were raped by Bill Clinton. Nobody got raped by Donald Trump. Evidently, he likes to look at pretty women and he likes to have sex with pretty women. You know what, Donald? You're worth $1 billion. You're a good-looking guy. God bless you. I'm glad you did all that 30 years ago. Now it's time to run the country and save America. Anyone who doesn't get that is living in a dream world.
Well, we're going to know soon enough. Allyn Root, enjoyed having you on. The book is Angry White Male, and you can go to his website at rootforamerica.com. Thank you.
And you heard it from me, Mark. Rich men like to have sex with pretty women. You heard it from Wayne Root.
That's the headline of the day.
Have a great day.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Wayne. I appreciate that. One of a kind. Allyn Root is one of a kind.